Platform fighters are a pretty difficult thing to get right. Despite the old gag that these are more party games than fighting games, they have a lot going on, not only under the hood, but above it too. If everything doesn't feel just right, your game won't succeed. There's a reason why there's only like 3 platform fighters outside of Smash I can think of that are actually, good. Like Rivals of Aether, Super Smash Flash 2. Oh wait, I guess that's technically Smash again. Oh god, I should have wrote. Yeah. Meanwhile, let's look at the other side. Icons, Punch Time Explosion, Bounty Battle, Brawlhalla, Brawl Out, Go All Out, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. All of these games, for one reason or another, just didn't click with people. So I want you to keep all of that in mind when I say that Slap City broke into my house, spat on my face, and threw me out the side of a moving vehicle. But, like, metaphorically? Yeah, that sold it. The goofy art style, characters, and the borderline non sequitur Vocaloid theme song belie an incredibly competent fighting game. Like, shockingly so. Some people assume Slap City is a joke, and it is not. Well, it's a hilarious game, but, you know, it's not like a joke game. For all you sweaty palms out there, there's wave dashing, dash canceling, jump squats, moonwalking, hobnobbing, and taunt throw heart throbbing. And that's all fine and dandy, but alas, I am a filthy casual, and will be talking about the game from that perspective. And from that perspective, from an outsider looking in, this game looks a lot like Smash Brothers, isn't it? And yes, perceptive bad British accent, it does, doesn't it? You got percentages, throws, shields, dodges, specials, tilts, and jabs. It's all very familiar. But there are also a lot of things that are very different, and barring the technical stuff I can't comprehend, one very noticeable thing is that instead of having 2 jump buttons, you only get 1, and the other is now a designated smash attack button. Honestly, I kind of like this better. Makes it a lot easier to do tilt attacks accident-free, and it allows for every character to have their own designated aerial smash attack. These are very fun. Also, fun fact, there are no dash attacks. If you want to dash into tilts, you can do that now. Congratulations. But I think the real showstopper here has gotta be the clutch button, which, as described by the store page, is a button that does stuff. A lot of it is super technical, but most notably to me, it lets you completely reverse your direction and momentum while doing certain attacks. Using this to juke your opponents with aerial smash attacks is probably one of the best things you can do. Like in life, in general. This game's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. The sheer momentum and speed to it all puts other fighters to shame. The depth of each individual character puts Smash Brothers to shame. The combos are wild, and there's just so many character interactions. I may be crucified for saying this, but, I honestly might have had more fun playing this game than playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sure, Ultimate has it beat in content, and modes, and options, and bonus material, but when it comes to the nuts and bolts, in my opinion, the gameplay in Slap City just feels better. Maybe it's because I've played the latter way too much over the past 2 years and I'm kinda burnt out on it, but the fact that I even have to debate this with myself says incredible things about Slap City in general. But of course, the game does have one critical flaw, which is ironically connected to one of its greatest strengths. So with that being said, let's talk about the characters. First off, this game's roster is wild. They all come from games made by the developer Ludosity. And hey, you might have even heard of some of them. It'll Do is their most popular, and I was also surprised to learn that they made EG, a game I only know about because back in the day, the Tor battle was like in every top 10 boss themes video. Plus, it gets a lot of remixes even today, and who can blame them? When one of the stages in this game started playing that, it was like the obscure rusty wiring in my brain suddenly flicked on. It's a small world, huh? We've also got Princess Remedy and her girlfriend. Aww. The titular it'll-do, anger management furry, the goddess of explosions who pile drives a planet for her up-B, and of course, Rhombus. All of these guys have highly distinct play styles and with a surprising amount of depth, too. Playing ping pong with the goddess of explosion side B, canceling your aerials into special moves with Masked Ruby. Some of this walking phallic symbols moves give him money, and then you can spend that money to power up certain other moves. If you get $1,000, you can do this. Yeah, there are even a ton of secret Easter egg moves and taunts you can pull off to style on your opponents. It is devastatingly funny. But, as I said before, these amazing characters come with a pretty big flaw. There are only 9 of them. Yep, Slap City suffers a fate similar to other indie fighters. It is very small. It reminds me of the launches of Skullgirls and Rivals of Aether. Both games started out with 8 characters. When you're working with an indie studio, it's inevitable, but still not ideal. Luckily, on the official Ludosity Discord, I confirmed with a developer that new characters will absolutely happen in the future. Regardless, I personally think the depth of each individual character and the incredible gameplay alleviate the problems that would come with a small roster size like this. And beyond that, the sheer amount of other content in this game makes the whole deal even sweeter. At this point, you've probably noticed this game's simple, colorful, and quirky art style. It's not for everyone, but I think it's adorable and fits the tone of the game perfectly. But I think what's especially great about it is that this simplicity comes with an extra benefit. It makes it way easier to add a truckload of new content. Every character has 3 costumes, and each of those costumes has a ton of recolors and alternate costumes within the alternate costumes. Because of this, basically every character has 22 outfits to choose from, and the variety is staggering. Like, let's take Jenny Fox for example. Her default costume has recolors, of course, but it also comes with 2 alien outfits. Also a rabbit for some reason. Her second costume turns her into a completely different character, Jenny Cat, who has her own victory dialogue and her own alternate costumes, like Garfield, Mask, and Casual Wear. Then you unlock Gardening Jenny with hatted, hatless, and bee versions. Literally all of the characters are like this. Oh yeah, and the stages. You know how many of those there are? 38. Yeah, they come from all over Ludosity's gaming catalog, ranging from competitive ready stages, goofy casual stages, and of course the bonkers gimmick hell stages. A really fun fact about this game's version of Pokefloats is that it's my sleep paralysis demon and it won't leave me alone. I haven't gotten a good night's sleep in over 5 months. But hey, at least we got Slap Ball. This mode has 6 unique stages of its own and revolves around slapping the ball into the goal. The more times the ball is hit without it touching the ground, the more points it's worth, and it leads to some intense scrambles. It's really fun. You can even change the physics of the ball if you want, and all of this madness is even further amplified by an utterly immense soundtrack. Unfortunately though, there isn't much of an easy way to listen to all of it. There's no sound test mode in-game, and there's no My Music feature either. Heck, you can even unlock new music in the game's story mode, but there's not really a way to tell what exactly you unlocked. Getting to choose whatever song you want for any stage is great, but, I don't know what I'm getting into. When this game starts getting post-launch support, I'd very much appreciate that option. Also maybe multi-man melee. We already got the clones in there. I think it'd be pretty nice. Wait, back up a second. Did I just say that this game has a story mode? Yep, Slap City, of all things, has a Subspace Emissary-esque campaign. Yeah, didn't see that one coming, did you? This game's story mode is an interesting beast. It absolutely blew my expectations out of the water, but in some ways it's kind of a bore. Not at first, though. You start it up, pick your character, and right off the bat, you have a map screen, a unique story for every fighter, hilarious writing, and lots of hidden collectibles, topped off by an incredibly fun final boss. It's great, though while playing, I noticed that for the most part, the levels were designed with lots of the same assets linked together on a squarish grid. That made me sorta think that this was a measure taken to ensure that every character got their own platforming challenges, you know, tailored to their specific abilities and whatnot. But upon starting campaign number 2, you realize that, yeah, all the platforming levels are near identical. You then realize, oh, in order to unlock everything, I have to go through the same levels in the same order 8 times over. Even the secrets are in the same places every time, and you don't want to skip them because they give you new recolors, music, and lore. Even the fights between the levels aren't that great. Despite it being different opponents and stages for each character, you can't alter the difficulty, leading to me kinda just beating every campaign without losing a single one of these fights. Like, literally not once. This kinda applies to the levels and bosses too. After your first run, you never really even come close to losing. Now, like I said before, the first run is amazing, and after that, the writing and stories are still really fun. Speedrunning all the levels once you figure out the layout can be a good time, and just playing as a different character can still mix things up a bit. But sadly, even with all of that considered, doing every campaign comes dangerously close to chore territory. Now, I'm not saying that making custom levels for every character would be easy. God knows it wouldn't be. But as is, this entire mode is incredibly front-loaded, and I have to bring that up. Oh well, for what it is, you'll get a lot out of this campaign mode, and the fact that something like this is in an indie game at all is pretty nuts. So make of that what you will. Other than that, the game does have all the bells and whistles you'd expect. There's a pretty in-depth arcade mode with minigames, clone battles, and a metal character fight. All the classics of classic mode. It's actually really fun to grind out high scores on this mode, and when you get to the credits, you can do this. Man, I love this game. As part of Classic mode and on its own, we do have a Break the Targets-like mode. And while it doesn't have unique levels built around every character, it does have a pretty decent amount to choose from. There's an in-depth training mode, and of course, online play. Online play is great because while you're waiting, there are a bunch of mini-games you can fiddle with. This is very good because I'm the only person in matchmaking. I'm here for the tower defense, don't try to get in a fight with me. So, yeah, if you want to do multiplayer, make sure you have friends. It is remote play compatible, so if you're doing it online, they don't even have to own it. The lack of players online does bring to mind the tragedy of this game. There is an utterly immense amount of heart put into it. The amount of references, secrets, jokes, gameplay polish, and the sheer amount of stuff in this game is kinda crazy. You can even unlock character timelines to see what games they've been in, and there are in-universe interviews just for the fun of it. This game really does go above and beyond. Yet, where the heck is everybody? Slap City became viral for a pretty long time, with mega YouTubers like Video Game Donkey and Alpharad giving it glowing coverage. And yet, when the game left early access, you know what happened? Basically nothing. Like you'd think there'd be a lot of hype around it, but in general, it didn't seem to catch on. I guess it was just a 15 minutes of fame situation, which is very stupid. Luckily, this game does still have a very passionate fan base. And if you want to play online with randos, you could always join the official Discord, which constantly sets up online lobbies to get your slap on. The devs are actually regulars there and are super friendly. All of this to say, Slap City kinda deserves the world, yet all it has so far is Anchorage, Alaska. Well, at least somebody noticed. That somebody being the giant multimedia juggernaut Nickelodeon. Yeah, that took a turn. They were so impressed with Slap City that this giant corporation approached them to make a Nickelodeon platform fighter. And besides some corporate shenanigans with the development time and budget, this game is way better than it has any right to be. It legitimately set the internet on fire when it was announced, and this is a licensed game based on a children's property, so that's no mean feat. And it's not just Nickelodeon that's noticed either, because our boy Ultra Fish Bungeon 3000 is one of the 6 revealed characters showing up in Fraymakers, the ultimate indie crossover platform fighter made by the devs of Super Smash Flash 2, and also the game I'm currently the most desperately hyped for. Like seriously, this looks so good. Hopefully these successes will bring more attention to Slap City, and the sweet, sweet Nickelodeon money means we could have even more characters and updates down the line. Meanwhile, I've been sucked into the Ludosity verse, and am really looking forward to trying out some of the games these characters are from. Don't be surprised if I talk about more of their stuff in the future. And that really says it all, right? This game leaves an impact. It's just so fun, so charming. You can't not fall in love with it. So much so that even though the game broke every bone in my body, I am still buying a Fish Bungeon t-shirt. My family is confused and concerned.